Hello, and welcome back to Foos Entertainment. Sorry for the long wait on this. I'm very busy, not to mention the changing of seasons has been screwing around with my allergies and eyes, and I don't like having big red eyes on camera. So you may know this from the past couple of reviews. Well, promised a trilogy, so I'm going to give you guys a trilogy. Probably just be able to get through the first two films today on that trilogy. And I might add we're halfway into another franchise, at least with me watching movies currently. So expect a lot of reviews coming up in the next 3 days. Yeah, that's way cleaner. It really does smell good. Smell my work boots. Alright, well, trilogy we'll be talking about starting today and concluding probably tomorrow, as well as the start of the next franchise, which is the final franchise, I might add. And I did this on purpose and intentionally for this particular franchise due to the remake that's coming out on Blu-ray. But let's talk about this trilogy first. That would be the Lost Boys trilogy. Yeah, this is just a digi book. I used to own all three of them individually in my old house, but, you know, the story about what happened there got ripped off and stuff like that. These were 3 of the films they sold. But this digi book does have all 3 of them in it. It takes up a lot less space on the shelf, I might add, which is a pretty good thing. Alright, The Lost Boys, Part 1, from 1987. Well, a lot of the world believes this to be the very best vampire movie ever made. I am not one of those individuals. It's among one of the best vampire films ever made. I say it's probably either the second or third best vampire film I've ever seen. But, no. I reviewed last year, and we'll be doing a return to this year. I might add as a theatrical, nostalgic review. There's going to be plenty of theatrical stuff in October as well, I might add. In fact, on the franchise I'm watching right now, I watched theatrically. And technically, I did watch Lost Boys 3 theatrically, but my friend actually gave me his old projector, so my projector, it's a very cheap one, but his, he didn't want anymore. They gave me is actually a Optima 3D one. So that means we have 3D now, theatrically. Have to go ahead and get passive glasses for it. But yeah, the very best vampire movie ever made, in my opinion, is Fright Night from 1985. Nothing comes close to being as good as that movie. Nothing ever will, in my opinion. But Lost Boys is either second or third. I believe it would be third because I think there's one more vampire film out there that I like better than The Lost Boys. And no, it's not 1986's Vamp, but it's not that one. But I believe there were some pretty good vampire films that were made in the 1980s and early 90s that I really, really like. A little bit more than Lost Boys. But it might indeed be the second best vampire film ever made. But it's certainly hell not the first one. The first one's Fright Night. Very cool characters in this movie, though. This film is definitely the patriarch for how we perceive a vampire in modern day. This is the first time we ever saw a vampire be a pop cultural character. Fright Night didn't actually do it. Fright Night went more to the traditions of vampirism, going more towards the old Universal monster, Bela Lugosi type of way of looking at a vampire, with Jerry Dandridge being Dracula and Peter Vincent being Van Helsing. This is a way different movie. This is pretty much your pop culture, rock and roll, teenager, romance, comedy vampire movie. So it's really the one that started how we look at a vampire today. So if it weren't for this movie, we would not have films like, say, Twilight, or something along those lines. That type of vampire wouldn't even exist if it weren't for Lost Boys. Lost Boys started all of this, how we look at vampires. Well, plot of the movie. But before I go there, I don't care if I am maybe 2 minutes over. First segment of this video. I can say this though: the coolest vampire of all time is definitely David, played by Kiefer Sutherland in The Lost Boys. I can certainly say that. It's just not the best vampire movie of all time, but he is the best vampire of all time, in my opinion. All right, plot of the movie. Well, a widowed woman and her 2 teenage boys are moving to Santa Carla to live with her father. The oldest son is obsessed with women, as well as your typical cliche of bodybuilding and all that stuff. His character, of course, is Michael, played by Jason Patric. And the younger son is obsessed with comic books and pop culture, which, of course, is the character of Sam, played by Corey Haim. Or to say the late Corey Haim. Or Haim, whatever his name is. Never could quite get his last name right. Now, my add, so people do know, this is the one and only time you'll be having a movie with him in it. So no, I'm not reviewing Silver Bullet. I never was a fan of that movie. For people that know, that was coming in October with Masters of Horror. Alright. And basically, the mom's played by Diane West from Edward Scissorhands. And although I have not seen it, I heard it's pretty good. The newest Clint Eastwood movie, The Mule. So they moved to her father's house in Santa Carla. At a rock concert, Michael catches the eye of a woman named Star, who hangs out with these bikers, which of course is headed by David, played by Kiefer Sutherland. And Sam is making friends at this comic book store with the Frog Brothers, Edgar and Ellen Frog, played by Corey Feldman. And I forget the other guy's name, so forgive me on that one. Michael gets initiated into the biker gang and is influenced to drink some kind of wine. I'll kind of quote Kiefer Sutherland's character a little bit. Drink some of this, Michael. Be one of us. Yeah, they had to do that. And basically, he drinks the wine, not knowing that it's vampire blood. And there you go. Gets turned into a vampire. Half vampires haven't killed anybody, obviously. They still follow that lore of the rules. And Sam discovers that his new friends, Edgar and Ellen Frog, are vampire hunters. And so they try to find who the head vampire is so they can kill the head vampire and save Michael. Michael, of course, is falling in love with the woman Star. Trying to protect her friend Letty, he was a little boy returned. And of course, they devise a plan to eliminate the vampires, thinking that David's the head vampire. And they pretty much do a home field advantage by pretty much having the battle fought at their house. Or say their grandfather's house. And basically, one of the things that's really cool about the movie is the reveal of when Michael finds out he's a vampire. Matter of fact, I'll kind of quote that. Now you know what we are. Now you know what you are. You never grow old, Michael, and you'll never die. But you must feed. Sorry, I like Kiefer Sutherland's character, as you can quite notice. In fact, my friend watched this with me after work. He actually said I look like him. I was like, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you, man. I look nothing like Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah, there's some celebrities out there that look like he's not one of them. I thought that was kind of cool that my friend would say that. And basically, the Frog Brothers, Sam and Michael and Star, of course, fight off the vampires, kill them all. There's this big fight between Michael and David. David gets impaled. Nothing changes. Then we find out who the head vampire really is. Now it is this older guy who the mom's been dating. And then Grandpa comes to save the day and stakes him with a kind of harpoon-like stake through the heart. And then Grandpa's like, one thing in Santa Carla I could never quite fathom. All the vampires. Then everybody's looking at him like, it's like you could have told us this a long time ago. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. Now, quality. Keep in mind, I do have what's known as a 3-dimensional Dolby Atmos and DTS:X configuration. So everything's in front of me, not really around me, but you can still get a lot of surround effects off of that if it's set up correctly like mine is. This film had a lot of surround effects, a whole lot of surround effects in it. Very, very well made for a early Blu-ray release from Warner Brothers with Dolby True HD technology. This one really does deliver on the sound. Some points of it, the movie, you actually feel like you're actually in the crypt that the vampires are sleeping in, are in that little lair that they have. You kind of feel like you're actually in there. It's kind of cool. When they are flying around, you actually feel like they're flying over you because, like I said, Atmos and DTS effects. And the thing about these type of sound systems is the fact that you can actually kind of get the same type of effects off of literally anything. It is better to watch stuff, of course, in Dolby Atmos and DTS:X for those overhead height effects and acoustic effects, but you can get that with everything. And that's kind of how you can tell what the surrounds are like. If it does a lot of good shit like that, then that means that if you would have them behind you or around you, it would be doing the same thing, only more direct. So yeah, very good surround effects in this movie. Very good dialogue, very good stereo effects, very well balanced. But not so overly balanced where it feels flat. There is a lot of bang for the sound. Video, very, very, very good video in this movie. Very good digital look. Now keep in mind, I watched this movie traditionally. I didn't watch it on the big screen. I did revisit